Wait, give me a second to fix that. It looks so damn dark in here. What the hell is that about? Whatever. Hey guys, I see y'all been in the chat. Like y'all been here. I love it. All right, so let's see what signs we got up in the place. Hold on. All right, Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Sag, Scorpio, more Virgo energy. Okay, come through, Cancer, Twin, Capricorn. Okay, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. Love to see the things. I love it. All right, well, I'm just gonna let the people flow in. But hold up. As y'all see from the title of today's conversation, I have decided to embark on a no retwist journey. Okay. Hey, Christian. Yeah. First of all, let me just say this. In last week's live, right, we were talking about the public perception of locks and why it's like, fuck all of that, you know? And Deshawn called my new growth disrespectful, right? Y'all remember? And that led into a whole conversation about it being a compliment and y'all need a lactologist or whatever. Long story short, y'all put me on, okay, to a goddess. When I tell you, after we did that whole conversation, like I sat down, I reflected, and I was like, let me see who this person is. Yanni the lactologist is like so dope. I feel like y'all connected me to my long lost auntie or something. Like, where the fuck was I, first of all? Because I literally had never heard of her until y'all told me about her. And for the way that she's like such a gem, like so many jewels, just mad wisdom and insight. She's like a pillar, I feel like. For those who don't know, Yanni's like a lactologist. She's a Rasta, so she gives you the authentic perspective around locks, what they need, minimalism, all that kind of thing. Yeah, so yes, Yanni the lactologist, yes. So when I ended up binging, so here's what happened. Friday, I didn't have work. We had staff development, right? We had an online training where we had to be tortured with more information about COVID. So I was like, muted that, and then came over to the side and just started binging on Yanni the lactologist while I did my hair or whatever. And when I say, like, she just cleared up so many things for me. Things that I knew and then things I forgot. She helped me remember, all that type of thing. Long story short, all of that brought me to the decision to give my hair a little break from the retwisting. Y'all already know I keep a every 2 weeks schedule with my things, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes 3 weeks, usually 2 weeks, right? But she was talking about, you know, embracing your new growth and giving your hair time to actually grow and thrive before you're so quick to like tame it, you know? And I was thinking about the fact that I'm over here talking about we don't need to worry about neatness or presentation and fuck all of that type of shit. Meanwhile, I do my hair every 2 weeks, you know? I felt kind of hypocritical. So I was like, you know what? Let me put that advice and insight into myself and my own practice and see, maybe I'll end up with a new retwist schedule. Maybe I'll end up with a new wash schedule, you know? So I decided to do 3 months because I started it Friday, right? That was the 21st, I think. And my birthday is June 22nd. So I figured for my birthday would be an appropriate time to bust a retwist and see what I've learned thus far, you know? So yeah, okay, I just been over here chatting, you know, chatting. But let me see what the chat is talking about, what y'all saying in here, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what y'all talking about. Yes, Yanni, yes, Yanni. She's just so dope. Like, what the fuck? I was asleep. she's like a favorite auntie. Facts. We do what we can. Yes, y'all be putting me on. And see, and that's why I like the whole going live thing, because I'm saying what I know from my experience, right? But then y'all are sharing your own perspectives and we're having a dialogue. It's like a forum. So it's an energy exchange. I give, you give, and we all give to each other. It's a good time. So yes, all right, let me see. Hello, hello, hi, yes, Yanni. It's the truth, love her, facts. She's the reason I don't get retwisted like that. Word. Okay, first of all, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name right, because you stay in the lives and you're so dope. Is it Sayuni Ray? Is that how you pronounce your name? Please tell me if I did it right. But yes, watching her videos is what made me like, why am I retwisting this often anyway? Like that whole schedule, when I really sat and reflected on why every 2 weeks is my schedule, that dates back all the way to when I had a perm, you know? Y'all know, you go every 2 weeks, get your wash and set. You know what I'm saying? And that was the schedule. And then every 6 weeks for me was when I would get the perm for the touch-up, because that's when the new growth. So I'm like, the new growth. Have I even really seen the fullness of my new growth, because I'm doing it so often? You know what I'm saying? Full thought process. That's why it's important to reflect. That's why it's important to acknowledge that you don't know everything and you're always learning. Because imagine if I was going hard, like, no, it's every 2 weeks and nothing else, I'm never gonna do anything different. Like, I'll be playing myself. You gotta open yourself to new ways of doing things. So, you know, hold up. Probably 2 to 3 times a year. I think you're talking about with retwisting, which is something she was saying. She was saying how her clients, she don't see them for anything under 2 months. I was like, oh my God. Talk about some of them, it's been 3 months, 4 months since their last wash and retwist or whatever, and their hair was just like so juicy. I was like, oh my God, I love to see this. Like, that shit is fire to me. So yeah, you know, we're gonna try it out on this side, this side. And every week I'll come on the live things and give y'all an update on how it's going. So far, okay, so Friday I washed my hair, and instead of retwisting, I just did I just braided it up, like did some plaits and then unraveled it. And this has been my hair since Friday. So I basically just hit the ground running with the whole no retwisting. As you can see, here's my roots. Like, you know, they're in there. They're here, okay? I hope y'all saw that just now. Yes. The longest I've ever gone without a retwist is 1 month, and that was light for me. So I figured 3 months is really like actually pushing the limit and seeing if I can do it. As y'all saw, I'm a Scorpio moon, and part of that is we like to test ourselves, push ourselves to the limit to see if we can handle the hard shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing with this. Back to the chat. I can't wait until I can go longer than 6 weeks. They be trying to elope. Only reason why I retwist at all. So speaking of that, like with them marrying at the roots, which they do that. So what I did when I washed my hair this past time was I went through and I went row by row, and I just worked through each individual lock as if I were gonna retwist it, but instead of doing that, I just put my oils and like really massage it through and made sure everything is separated before I went on to the next one. And I mean, obviously it's only been a few days, so there's that. But I feel like that will be my maintenance, is to go through and like, as I'm moisturizing, I'm separating and, you know, assigning the frizz to its designated lock and that type of thing. Back to the chat, because y'all know I love to see what y'all gotta say about the things. Hold up. That's dope that you checked in with yourself and decided to embrace not retwisting so often. Yeah, like, you have to check in. You have to like give yourself an audit sometimes and think, the things that I'm doing, why am I still doing them? Are they beneficial to me? Do I need to switch things up? You know? And I've been comfortable with the 2-week schedule, but you know, sometimes it's starting to become like a drag sometimes where I'm like, I'll forget that it's been 2 weeks and then I'll remember like, oh shit, okay, now I gotta wash my hair and retwist it. You know, it's like a force of habit. And the whole motivation behind me even going natural was not wanting to have to keep up with doing my hair all the time. You know, I wanted to just let my hair thrive and do its own thing, kind of. But I kind of transferred that same energy to my lock journey. So instead of being like, okay, I'm letting it chill, I'm letting it do the things, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use that same schedule just with natural hair now. If that's making sense, I hope so. So I'm like, I'm really still using the same programming that I was using on this whole time up until this point. And for me to talk about being rebellious and mean fuck that noise and being like, I don't care what people think about my hair, why am I still keeping it neat and tidy on this schedule? Why am I still doing that? So I really had to have that conversation with myself and be like, you know what, girl, shake it up a little bit, you know? I am now 14 months locked and I retwist every 3 months. Come through. You already on it with the insight. I've never made a live, but somehow you're glowing even more than on a regular video. What is this? Thank you. It's because it's just the vibes, y'all. You know, we vibing together. I would say that's the reason. Once my curls mature, I'm definitely retwisting less. Word. Wait, hold on. Saying mine are still sort of trying to unravel, but once they mature enough, I can space out my retwist a lot more. I plan to. Facts. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. Yes, I said it right. All right. So it's Sayuni. Did I say it? Is that how I said it the first time? Jesus Christ. I done forgot how I said it the first time. But Sayuni, that looks like it. So, all right, we lit. Now I know how to say your name. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. And Yanni's locks are mad thick and healthy. Yes, they really are. That's what had me like, huh. And I was watching her embracing your new growth. She had like different clients and she was just showing their thick, disrespectful new growth. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I don't know. I felt so stimulated watching her stuff. And it's so simple. It's simple information, but it resonated with me. Okay, it's been about, wait, hold on. I'm 5 months and retwist once a month. Okay, word. I was thinking like, if anything, I might land around every month and a half, but I still don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end of this challenge. It's been about 2 months since my last retwist, and before that it was about 3 or 4 months. Okay, your hair is bomb.com. Thank you guys for the compliments on my hair. And exactly, that's something I've noticed, even with it being a few days. It's like I've been getting more compliments on my hair like this than I get when it's freshly retwisted. Oop, super chat. Thank you. Had to come back again, girl. I appreciate it. I get so excited for the super chats. But yeah, I've been getting more compliments, even from my mom, who initially was like mad confused about me locking at all. And now she's like, oh wow, your hair looks really good like that. What did you do? And I'm here like, I literally did nothing. Like, that's a dope feeling. I love that shit. And you know, with the new growth, it makes it, or the non-twisted growth, it makes it more voluminous, right? So it's like lifted off my head. It feels like a big ass mane. Like I be feeling like, holy shit, I really have so much hair on my head. I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. Look at that shit. Like, what? It makes me feel like when I was a kid, I used to be in love with the Little Mermaid because of her hair. And I used to I had a Little Mermaid nightie, like a nightgown. And you know when you take off your shirt and it gets stuck on your hairline, I would just leave it on my head and be like walking around the house like this with my shit on my head. But now, like with my actual locks, I'm getting that feeling again. You know? It feels good. It's nice. I like it. Back to the chat. Thanks, guys, for the compliments on my hair. I appreciate y'all. Does the marrying get better once your locks are mature? You know, I haven't dealt with marrying off the strength that I've been doing it so frequently. So my hair hasn't even gotten a chance to be on some intertangling at the roots per se, you know, because I keep it separated. So I will see that now as I go through this challenge with myself. I'll get back to you on that. I consider going through and wrapping loose hair without retwisting to make sure they don't marry. Might try that. Yes, that's something that I decided I'll be doing too. Because one thing, is there a piece of hair on my lip? Yes. One thing that I was learning in my research was, so what I'm doing is considered semi-free forming kind of, you know. And what I learned is that, you know, if your hair grows with your lock, then that's ideal, as in the new growth grows into the lock itself. Whereas if it grows against your lock, it's like the new growth is next to it, and so you might deal with thinning, kind of, if you're not retwisting it regularly. So what you want to do is, or at least what I'm deciding to do, is for the locks that they grow together, which are the ones in the back. The ones in the back grow into themselves. Let me show y'all. I hope y'all can see what I'm showing. The ones at the back, like the new growth grows with the lock. It grows into it, right? But the ones at the top, I don't know if y'all saw anything just now. I'm just hoping so. The ones at the top, they kind of grow away from the lock like this. So what I'll be doing in my maintenance is like just wrapping the hair that's growing away from itself, just wrapping it up so that it knows where it's supposed to be and it doesn't stray too far. But that's about it. Wait, hold up. I'm scrolling back up, y'all. Have you ever done a lock count? Yes, I have. Look at my videos. Oh my gosh. I'm next to the scratching post, y'all, and it's pretty dusty right now, so the sneezing. I'll be 1 year in May. I bought different hair wraps to keep myself from the urge from retwisting. Out of sight, out of mind. That's a good idea. The only thing I would say is like just be mindful of not doing it too tight around the edges, because you know, I feel like that's self-explanatory. You don't want any too much. Oh my god, every time I move my hair. Anyway, you don't want too much like friction going on up here. And also making sure to like still keep up with your moisture. Everything I'm saying, I'm sure you know, but for those who don't, with wrapping your hair too often, you're kind of like drying it out if you're using cotton scarves. So just be mindful of that. You got that though. That's a good idea. Mine grows away from my locks, and it's gotten like that the older they've gotten. Yeah, like that's something that that's territory I'll be exploring in this challenge, because I really, okay, for instance, this is the main experience I've had with hair growing outside of the lock to the point that it's like so noticeable that I just made it into its own lock, right? But ultimately what I plan on doing is just wrapping the new growth around where it's supposed to go. Like, let me see, just demonstrate right now. Wrap that around, wrap it around. Boom. And just keep that with you. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Ooh. Lord, I done missed mad comments. Okay, I'm gonna start calling y'all to exercise that super chat for me because I'm missing a lot of these comments and I want to see I want to see what's being said. So hit me with the super chat. Oh my god, I used to do that with the nightgown too. I'm finding out most little black girls do. Word, that's just like our thing. Like we be doing a lot of the same things, child. My hair grows away from my locks also. Word, word, word. So with the hair growing away from your locks, you just want to make sure you're, you might not want to go super long between retwists because like I said, that could cause or lead to thinning because, you know, now it doesn't have enough of a foundation at the root to hold the weight of the rest of your lock. So you need to make sure that that's staying with its group. Buddy system, stay with your buddy. Hold it down for each other, you know what I'm saying? All right, hold up now. I'ma admit this to y'all, I haven't had a full retwist yet and I'm 3 months into my lock journey. My locks are cut into a mohawk, buds are literally dropping out of nowhere. I don't know, I didn't really have anything to say. I was just reading that. Maybe y'all can commune with each other in the chat. Yes, I have, yeah, I'm allergic to dust. It's like, why is that considered an allergy? That just, but yeah. I'm 6 months in, I can't wait till I wash and not retwist and that has, okay, you lost me. My locks are in the back grow together and in the front grow apart. I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, like for me, it's because I have different textures. So the back, it's finer. I don't know if it's finer. It's more so, it's just like a wavier, looser, it's looser of a curl pattern. And it's like, so I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking. But basically the texture in the back is different. The ones in the front are more coily and tight. And they're thicker as far as sizing is concerned. So when it grows, it's like the thickness is more just like a puff, a big puff. And they can't stay together because it's not like a curl pattern that is following anymore. It's just a big puff of frizz. Whereas in the back, it's able to stay in that wave formation. Is that making sense, y'all? Child, I don't know why I feel like I'm not making sense when I'm talking today, but I hope it did. You let me know. I have a bad habit of over twisting my locks and I feel tension in my roots. The fact that you're actually feeling tension, that's your signal right there to chill out. For sure. And one thing even still with the retwisting is I don't do tight retwists either. I keep my retwists very loose. So instead of like making it go all the way to the scalp and it's like there, I'll like leave a little room for grace because I don't feel comfortable when I'm putting tension on my hair. That's why I haven't ever gone to a loctician to get my hair professionally styled because I've noticed that seems to be a theme. Like they just be pulling the fuck out of your hair and it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, that's mad tension. I don't like that shit. It makes me nervous. So yeah, that's what I would say for that. Like when you are retwisting, just be mindful. Don't do it tight. You don't need to. You really don't. Good night, I'm late, but thank God I got you early enough. Enough love and blessings from J.A. Hey, what's good? Love it. As a kid, I pretended my pillowcase was my hair. Shouts to all of us having the same concept, okay? We know the vibes. I just started my lock journey today, and I'm so happy that I found your videos last week. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. I'm glad you found me too. Good evening to everyone that's watching with me, and please keep safe, you and your beautiful family. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love the vibes in here. Love the vibes. How do you handle dandruff flaking in your locks? So I deal with flaking from dryness, which is another thing I've been giving thought to is, am I drying my hair out by washing it so frequently? even in my last video, I was talking about how you moisturize with water and you seal it with oil. But in that little short period of time in my binging of information, I realized that that's not how it works with locks per se. Like the water, just like when you water a plant, you know, the soil gets super bone dry and that's what lets you know it's time for more. It's like your hair drinks up the water, it absorbs it entirely. So it's like it may be moist temporarily, but it's not keeping it. Which is why rose water has become a huge hit in my life. And I recently started at, so here's my little moisture spray. It's rose water, and I recently added aloe vera juice back into my rotation. That together helps with the actual hydration of the hair. So not only are you moisturizing, as in like injecting moisture with the water into your hair, you're actually hydrating, which would be locking in the moisture. So that's what I started doing recently, and I'll be doing that as I go through this process and seeing how my hair responds to that to determine what I need to adjust. But back to your question as far as what I do for the flaking, I use my spray with the rose water. I incorporate tea tree oil into any oils that I'm using. Right now, I'm finishing off my Talia Wajid healing oil, right? It's wet because I have it in some hot water because I'm going to do like a hot oil treatment. But I add tea tree oil to this oil or whatever oil combination I'm using. And I do that. I put that in my roots and like massage it in and, you know, keep it sealed in or whatever. And that's what helps me keep the dryness at bay until it's time for my next wash. That's what I've been doing. But like I said before, I'm going to be discovering new things about my hair now that I'm not going to be retwisting it as often as I used to. So every week, I'll give y'all updates on what I'm learning. And really, we're going to be learning about this together or helping each other through it. You feel me? I've never gotten my locks done professionally. Word, you know? It just feels unnecessary to me. Okay. Grenada in the house. Hey, Grenada. Love your videos. Thank you so much. I love it. You lit. Hi, I'm from Washington State. Love your videos. I'm 9 months locked and I love it. What's goody? What's goody? Yes, my texture is looser in the back too. That makes sense because mine is coarser at the top. Okay, so it was making sense. Thank God. All right. I prefer a looser retwist to give my hair room to mat. Exactly. The retwist is just a guide. It's literally like, remember in high school you learn how to outline your paper and then you write the paper? Your retwist is you doing the outline. You know what I'm saying? You just setting it up for success. But I don't know where it's going with that. But ultimately you don't need to do it tightly, is what I'm saying. Give it the outline and let the hair fall into formation. Okay? And I've noticed that my hair has trained itself. Like, let me show y'all. Remember I said I washed it and I didn't retwist, right? Look at this one. You see how it's like completely together? The new growth is not really noticeable. I have locks like that all over the place where they've trained themselves, so I really don't need to retwist them. They just are already going in that direction. I'm trying to find another one. Like this one. You see that? So if I were to retwist it, it's like for what? Like there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The eyebrows are beautiful. I know that sounds weird. You know, thank you for saying that because I actually would like to neaten them up. I need to go get them threaded. You can't see it on the camera, but yeah, you definitely can't see it in the camera, but thank you anyway. Appreciate it. For real, I watch a lot of lock styling on Instagram and the locticians always post so tight. And for what? For what? Why are you doing that? And I would think that as a loctician, you would know better than to pull on someone's fucking head cap so hard, but apparently not. Apparently not, child, because they be wildin'. It's literally the same vibes as when you go to get your hair braided. It's like, yes, you want it to look super pristine, but you're also ODing with the tension when you pull on it that hard. Like, back to my lock minutes video, your locks are not indestructible, baby. Like, they still need tender love and care. You gotta be careful. Aloe vera juice is the truth. Sometimes that's all I use. Yeah, it really is. Like, even after I use it, like, I feel my hair plump up. It's like, that's what my hair does. I'm like, oh shit, come through, aloe. Communication with stylists is key. They'll adjust to your level of comfort. Okay, that's valid. That's valid. Hold up. Okay. Hello, just got in. Love your chats. Your advice is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What does it mean when you get little scabs on your scalp? That scabs is from like when you scratch and you break the skin barrier. At least from what my past experience. That's from scratching too hard. If there's another reason for that, it's not coming to me. If anyone else in the chat can help that person out with that question, please do. But yeah, that sounds like you're breaking the skin. So maybe just instead of scratch and doing all of this, massage with the finger pads, you know? And sneak your scratching into your moisturization days. So when you're sitting down, you're like, okay, I'm gonna moisturize. That's when you like OD on the getting in there, as opposed to just scratching the fuck out of your hair every day. Like, actually designate time to sit and nurture your hair, and in that time is when you do the massaging, and incorporate tea tree oil as well. But if y'all have any extra advice for that person, please help them out. Hey, I'm Bria, and I have been locked for 4 months, and you inspired me to start it because you said it was a spiritual journey. Yes, Bria. It's so dope when you guys say I inspired your journey. Like, that's fucking amazing. That's so dope. Ooh, I'm down for the challenge. Okay, so for anyone who wants to try this challenge with yourself, like, this is something I'm just doing personally, but you're welcome to try. All I would advise you to do is do research first. Make sure you're making an informed decision. Don't just do it because I'm doing it, you know? Evaluate your hair. Determine, does your hair grow with your lock or against your lock? Determine that. Determine how your hair responds to like whatever moisture combination you're using, whatever oils you're using. Really pay attention to how your hair responds to things and determine what will be your timeline for no retwisting. I'm only confident with the 3 months timeline because I know for a fact that 1 month was light work. So I feel like 2 additional months, you know, that's reasonable. But for you, maybe start off with a month, maybe push it to a month and a half. Like, gauge, determine what makes the most sense for you and your hair, because you know better than I do about that part, you know? But yes, you guys are definitely welcome to join me. You definitely are. Just make sure you're doing it, you're making an informed decision before you do so. How often should you be washing starter locks? They like to say to hold off as long as possible. I would say, like, because for me, when I started my locks, the first month I didn't wash, and then in the second month was my first wash, and then after that I was doing it every 2 weeks. Looking back, I don't know if I needed to be doing it that often. So I would say watch your scalp and pay attention. Also, make sure you're not using products in your hair. When I say products, like creams and gels and shit like that, if you are, you will need to wash your hair more often. That's just how that goes. So I would say the most frequent would probably be 2 weeks, because you don't want to be over manipulating the starters to unravel. But you can also stretch it to like a month. Give it like a month maybe before you decide to wash again, because at the beginning stages they're super sensitive. They can unravel at the roots, and you don't want to disturb that too much. So even when you do bust a wash, be gentle with that part, okay? But yeah, for me, I was doing it every 2 weeks, so there is that. How often are you gonna wash your hair since you aren't retwisting as often? So for that, I'm gonna be taking a close inspection on my scalp after the 2-week mark, which will be next Friday. We'll make it 2 weeks. So I'll be taking a close inspection to determine, is my hair dirty or is it dry? Because for me, I've been washing it every 2 weeks because it would start getting flaky. But now I'm starting to realize maybe it's just because it was super dry. So what I'll be doing is doing my moisturization routine once or twice a week, and like watching my scalp to see what's happening up there, and also doing the sniff test. You know what I'm saying? And determine from there. But I'm thinking I'm going to try to push it to 3 weeks this time. Let's see. Maybe after 3 weeks, I'll be like, okay, let me wash it now. Or maybe I'll do in a month. Who fucking knows? I don't know yet. But in 2 weeks, I'll know for certain if I'm going to do it on that day, or if I'm going to stretch it an extra week or so. So I'll keep y'all posted. I'll keep you posted. Do you condition your locks? Nope, I do not. Conditioner, I used to until I really realized that that shit was just sitting inside of my hair and it wasn't doing anything else. It was just sitting in my hair. And also when you have too much product in your hair, that's what contributes to the odor buildup, because it's just product mixing with dead skin and everything, and your sweat and bacteria, everything together, and that combination creates an odor. So I do not condition my hair. My conditioning comes through my oiling of the scalp and my spritzing of my rose water aloe vera concoction. I should actually do that right now while I'm on the live with y'all. I may as well. Wait, hold up. If I skipped your question, I apologize. There's a lot going on in here. 10 months lock, I wash every 2 weeks. My scalp gets itchy and it might be from the wild growth oil. Ooh, what do you think about that oil, queen? I haven't tried it, but I've heard that from people before. Just like it's making your hair grow faster, it seems. And so that growth is really like stimulating your scalp, overstimulating your scalp kind of, so you feel like a sensation. But I haven't personally tried it, so I don't know. So I'm not gonna give my opinion on that. I'm not gonna say much more. My own opinion, if your hair grows away from your locks, just pay attention between your retwists, can lead to thinning. Yes, exactly. Exactly. What does grow away from your locks means? It means, oh, someone answered you. Shouts to you, Amber, for coming through with the assist. You ever try just giving yourself a hot oil treatment instead of washing every 2 weeks? You know, I did that one time, but I think I ended up washing out the hot oil. I actually don't remember what happened with that experience, but that is something I've considered. I'm like, I may as well just do hot oil treatments more so, because like one thing Yanni, the lactologist, was talking about is oil really being the thing, like finding the right oil for your hair. She's always talking about vitamin E or castor oil. And I used to use Jamaican black castor oil, but as y'all know, if you had experience with it, that shit has a smell. Okay, it does. And I don't like it enough to just be in my head, because you move your hair around and you're smelling the castor oil. So for me, I'm thinking about using diluted castor oil and mixing it with my other stuffs like I used to do, and put my essential oils so as to combat the smell of the castor oil, and then using that as part of my treatment. So I'm thinking about that, like what you said, every 2 weeks instead of washing, maybe do a treatment and see what that looks like. Like I said, every week I'm gonna update y'all and see what I've learned and all of that type of thing. Our hair grows in stages and we always have new hair growing in, so sometimes it's just new hair that has to be acclimated to the lock. That's a valid point as well. Literally, my brother just went to condition his locks. This has to be a sign. Tell him to abort. Abort mission. Abort. And if it's too late, wash it out. Do a thorough, make sure he gets as much of it out as possible, because that conditioner, boy, that shit will cling to your locks, and it doesn't, at least from my experience, it doesn't condition, it's not like it's softening or moistening, hydrating. It's not doing none of that, because your hair is together, you know what I'm saying? It's locked now. So whatever you're putting in there is staying in there now. It's not gonna rub into your hair, or it's not doing that. Y'all talking about popping locks? Have you ever used Haitian black castor oil? That doesn't smell to me. I haven't. I should look into that though, because I've been hearing that more lately. I'll look into it. You look like the rapper Nas. What? I have never heard that in my life. No one has ever told me that. Wait. Can popping locks be a cause of thinning? It feels so damaging. See, I don't pop my locks, child, because that just feels mad aggressive. Like, I remember even before I started locking, that was something people would always say, make sure you pop your locks. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I do? You're forcing it. But one thing that I did learn from my natural hair journey is the power of your fingers and finger detangling. So instead of just fucking snatching that shit apart and basically ripping your roots apart, use your fingers to feel it out and like separate it with your fingers and detangle it that way. And do it when your hair is wet. Your hair is more malleable when it's wet. But I'm not a fan of the lock popping. I'd more so say just do a gentle separation as much as possible. Please. Wait a minute. So what do you do if when I wash my hair and the hair is outgrown from the lock, just wrap it back around? Yes, that's what I would do. That's what I have done starting recently. Just wrap it around. Wild growth oil gave my locks buildup. The consistency was really sticky and I didn't care for the smell. That would make sense because, you know, and that's what made me a little bit nervous with the castor oil, and that's why I diluted. Like the thick, sticky oils is like grabbing at everything in the air, on your clothes, in the atmosphere. So it's like pulling things. It's like a mousetrap. Ooh, super chat, thank you. And you didn't even say anything. It's just because you're being nice. Thank you. So yeah, I'm not going to speak further on the wild growth oil because once again, I haven't used that shit. Are your locks in a specific parting pattern or are they natural parts? I can't tell. At this point, child, I'm going to call them natural parts because, yeah. But it was brick lay. But even still, like you see that's a part, but it's not like a perfect part. But this was supposed to be a brick lay. Girl. But that's what it started off as. I'll just say that. And now it's just, long as they're not tangled up together, long as they have their own little section, that's all I care about. That is it. Yeah, never do it when it's dry. It'll break your hair off. Word. Don't pop your locks dry, child. Don't do it. You must use light oils, not heavy oils on the hair. And I'm learning more about the difference between moisturizing oils and sealing oils. Ooh, oh my God. Amber. First of all, Amber, bless you, okay? You just came through with a super chat just off the vibes. And I just love that. Thank you so much. That's amazing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the moisturizing oils versus the sealing oils. So like a castor oil, the thickness, it's a sealing. It seals the moisture in, versus like a coconut oil, which is lighter, which actually moisturizes. And what I've noticed from my experience is when I use coconut oil, my roots are less crispy, like, you know, that crackly kind of feeling, and more soft, you know? Yeah. If I wasn't broke, I would super chat you. Listen, first of all, don't call brokenness onto yourself, okay? It's just a temporary setback that you are moving out of. Okay? You're maneuvering your way out of that. But also, don't even worry about it. You bless me in other ways in this chat, okay? Wait. I tried peppermint and tea tree oil from Amazon, doesn't work either. I think Samantha, you were talking about the dryness or the flakiness of the scalp. Was that you? Have you tried it with rose water and with aloe vera juice? Ooh, and y'all were talking about lock steaming last time, which I found very interesting. Everything that I'm mentioning, y'all, just look into it on your own time as well and see if it resonates with you, because a lot of people have been dropping some gems in my chats, and I want y'all to use this as a resource. It's not just me, okay? It's a community effort here. So if y'all have any tips for Samantha on that, help her out, please. Love to massage my scalp with coconut oil. Yes, love it so much. What oil is good for hair growth? The only one that I would advocate for on that behalf is castor oil. Specifically for me, Jamaican black castor oil. It's good for thickening and stimulating hair growth. However, it's not for everybody. So do your research. When you get it, determine if it agrees with you. But also, I don't like advising people on what to do to make their hair grow. All you really need to do is make sure your hair is healthy. Make sure you're taking care of your scalp health. Once you do that, growth is inevitable. Don't worry about making it grow faster or any of that. Maybe if you're worried about thickness because you have some weakness in your roots, you can do your extra research on that portion. But don't worry about what to do to make your hair grow more, grow faster. Like that, it's a waste of your energy. Don't do it. Just make sure your hair is healthy. That's all you need to do. Moisturize it, figure out what oils your hair agrees with, and stick to that. Keep it simple. I can't do coconut oil, tried it, and my scalp acted a fool. And you see, and that's good that you know that. Because for you, that means stay the fuck away from that shit. But for somebody else, you know, they might really need that in their life. So wouldn't the coconut oil cause buildup too, because it'll re-solidify? Like that's a good way to think of it, but I've never had the oil solidify in my hair. Also, I'm not putting it down here. I'm only putting it in the roots. And one thing you want to do, you're not going to over oil where you're just like saturating your scalp. Just put what you need. Just line your scalp. I'm about to demonstrate. This is not coconut oil, obviously, but just for demonstration purposes. I'm not putting no more than that. Okay? And you work that through. If that were coconut oil, that shit's not gonna harden up and cause like it's not. Like as you see, it already drank that up. Yeah. Put a little bit right there. Are y'all hearing that fucking sound as I rub? All right, hold on. Back to what y'all saying. Hi. Oh shit. I'm gonna drop. Oh my gosh. I'm coming, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Where was the fucking comment? Hi, love your channel. Thank you. I'm currently 9 months into my journey. I have some hair that just won't go into the lock. I've been trying to get it to go in. Any advice? So yeah, we were talking about hair that grows away from your locks, and that's some people's experience. Like some people have hair that grows with, and some people that has hair that grows against. You know, for you, what I have done is simply just wrap it around the lock that it's supposed to be with, and then that's about it. There's no use in stressing about that. I did have some situations like with my hair at the edges that were growing away, and I ended up making those into baby locks because no matter what, it just was not growing with its neighbor. But I wouldn't advise doing that like all over your head, because like the new growth and the frizz is contributing to the foundation of that lock. So you don't want to separate that because that'll weaken the hair over time. So circling back, I would just twist it back onto your lock and palm roll to help train the new growth into the direction of the rest of the hair. But you can't change the way your hair grows, you know? So just be mindful about managing it. I combined some Florida water with some filtered water and sprayed it in my hair like you recommended in the last live for my 4-month lock anniversary. So good. Yes, I'm glad you like that. It's like a little ceremony that you're doing for yourself. Like, it's like, ooh, I am anointing my crown with this divine protection, you know? But back to the whole water thing, DJ Phoenix, I'm learning now that water by itself, it needs help. Like, you got to put that water with some rose water or some aloe vera or something else. Water by itself isn't enough to hydrate your hair. I've been learning. So I learn a lot as I go, okay? Oh, Chinna, you're in the chat. Oh my God, thank you, Chinna. Hair looks nice. Thank you so much. I love when y'all come through and show me love in here. Aloe vera juice from Amazon, sure. You know, sure. You just make sure it's in its liquid form as you apply. Girl, my hair be sounding like that, like I'm raking leaves. Word, like, ooh, even after I just did that though, that little section feels softer. Amazing. So amazing to be loved. I follow you to the moon and the stars above. Okay. All right, I'm seeing I've been in here for super long. I wasn't trying to make this a long ass life. So I'm gonna head out within the next 8 minutes, make it like a solid hour. So if y'all have any last minute questions or thoughts to share, feel free to do that. Do you ever trim your locks? Yes, I do. As a loose natural, I used to trim my ends regularly, but not sure about locks. But that isn't something I do regularly. I do it like once a year maybe, if that. Look at my 5-year anniversary video and you'll see me trimming my locks. And I only do it for the weak ones, not for all of them. Yeah, 10 months, 4C, drinks anything up you put in it. Can I wash and moisturize separate and no retwist for a month, or I have to retwist after every lock due to my hair growing away? If your hair grows away, okay, Samantha, I'm realizing that you've been like the star question asker about the hair growing away from your locks. There's but so much I can say past what I've already said. If your hair grows away from the scalp, from the lock, put it back with it by wrapping it around that lock. If it's bothering you OD, then you might not want to go an extended period of time without retwisting. You want to maintain a regular retwist schedule so as not to have that experience fuck up your peace of mind. That's what I can say for you on that. And the oil, once again, is the Talia Wajid Healing Oil, okay? It's a little wrinkled up. Don't worry about that. Got it at a beauty supply store. You can also order it from her website directly or Amazon, whatever. Will shea butter cause buildup? Yes, the fuck it will. Don't put no damn shea butter in your hair. Don't do it. I used it all the time as a loose natural and my hair has worked so well with it, but I just got locks. Don't use it in your locks. Don't do it. I used to use it in my loose natural hair as well. The thing with your loose natural, you can work the product through. You work it through. And you also have the option of washing it out. With your locks, God help you to try to wash out shea butter. That thing is in there. Okay, you would have to fuck around and do a full detox every time to get that off. You don't want to put anything that's going to be a fucking nightmare to take out. Shea butter is one of those things. What else? Cream, any kind of cream or thick consistency situation, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Okay. I just want to do an off black, but I'm gonna be mad if my locks end up crunchy. You talking about dyeing your hair? I am the last person to talk to about dyeing hair, child. I damaged my hair with that, so can't help you there. The back of my hair keeps coming undone. Well, usually for most people, the back of your hair is where your texture is a little bit looser. So depending on what your texture is generally, then the back of your hair might be even looser than that. So, you know, it's kind of is you have the hair on your head. This is the hair you were blessed with. So what you got to do is figure out what to do that will work for you. Figure out what retwist schedule you are comfortable with. Okay? You don't have to go a long period of time without retwisting. That's not necessary. If you feel like your hair is always coming undone and you want to keep it done, then feel free to do that. Just don't over manipulate your situation, okay? Can someone please explain what this live is about, please? Yeah, help them. Help them find their way. You can crochet the loose hair back into the lock, but you have to know what you're doing. Yeah, that's something about crocheting. I've only ever been comfortable crocheting like the body of my hair because it's mature and it's together, but like at the root, I'm nervous about that because it's so easy to snag. So definitely make sure you know what you're doing, and if you don't, find someone who does, because the crochet needle can snatch as well. So you got to be very careful, very mindful with that. What do I do when my freeform dress don't stand up like I want them to? That's a question I can't answer for you. I have no idea what you want your hair to stand up like. I clearly do not have freeform hair. If anyone in the chat has freeform and you have some insight for this person, please help them with that, because I do not know. I started my locks 3 weeks ago. I started with my comb curls and I left them. My loctician said I can't get my first retwist until it's been 46 days, and I'm trying to be patient. 46 days is specific as hell. Like, how did she come up with that number? 46? Not even like a 45. Like, how she? Okay, sure. What about the blue magic? Will that cause buildup even if you don't use it as often, like once every 3 days? Love your energy. So when I was using the blue magic, that was only for my retwists, and that is something I would do every 2 weeks at that time. And even still, I only use a little bit. But yes, it's grease. You know, it's like a thick, it's like petroleum, so it can cause buildup, which is why I only use a little bit, and which is why I do detoxes with my hair. But all of that is going to be a thing of the past, because with this no retwisting thing, I have no reason to use the grease. I really didn't have a reason to use it in the first place. I was just trying it out. From now on, I'll only be using my moisturizing spray, rose water, aloe vera, and my oils. That's all I plan on using, okay? That's all I got for you. Word, like, how you determine that 46 days is the answer? Like, the fuck? Try argan oil, softens the driest, most brittle hair and leaves my locks light too. Best over water-based leave-in. Okay. Okay. Nice to know. Every time I wash it, it unravels, but I don't, I guess, I don't know what the second part you were trying to say there. Been watching your videos for a while now, and one of the reasons I started my locks. Appreciate all your good advice. Love from South Africa. Hey, South Africa in the building. What up? Glad to inspire, glad to help. I have to say, you're so blessed. Oh my God, your energy is so high. I get lit with you every time you're on. Thank you, Natty. Oh, you're so sweet. And you're right. I am blessed and grateful and lit. So I'm glad you appreciate that. I've been daily using rose water and light wild growth oil. Wait, hold on. However, my 5-month-old locks started feeling dry like halfway through the day. Whoa. Any tips, as a loose natural had the same issue halfway through the day? That sounds to me like what you are using currently isn't doing the job. Rose water, maybe, like I was saying earlier, add aloe vera juice to your rose water. Also, one thing that Yanni, the lactologist, was talking about is she said, do half rose water, half vitamin E oil together. I haven't tried that, but it seems like it would help. Basically, what I'm saying is if your hair is not responding to what you're doing, it's time to do something different. And I'm not going to be able to tell you what that different thing will look like. You have to determine that for yourself, but definitely listen to what your hair is saying. Is your hair low porosity? Which one is low porosity? Is that the one that's coarser? Let me check. Let me do a quick Google. Low porosity. Is that the one that like absorbs more, or? Oh yeah, yes. Low porosity is the one that repels water more so it's harder to get the hydration inside. Yes, my hair would be that, which is why I have to find different ways to actually hydrate my situation. Like, I have to. But so far, the rose water and the aloe vera juice have been doing the damn thing for me. Okay, so that's worth knowing. Love you, Sammy. Keep doing your thing. Okay, niggas is leaving now. Yeah, rose water and vitamin E oil. Word. It's the one that doesn't absorb. Okay, yeah, thank you. I checked, but thank you. Hot oil treatment too. That E-Blast oil by Aunt Jackie has helped me a lot. Huh, I have not heard of that. Huh. You gotta start steaming your locks, Sammy. Yo, you told me this in the last live. Here's the thing. I gotta find a steamer that works in my set. Like, what I was looking at, I saw that for the high quality steamers, they're more on the like expensive side of the spectrum. And then the low quality steamers, they're not big enough to like embody the whole thing. Here's what you can do. For anyone who steams their hair, can you drop your steamer in the comments? Like, I'm gonna save this live and upload it. When I do that, please drop the steamer that she would suggest in the comments and I will look into it, because the steaming sounds like a good ass idea. And I was looking at other people's like experience with it, and they've all like said that it's like the best thing that they've ever done for their locks. So I want to try that. You can use a facial steamer. Use the vanity planner. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Okay. I said I was gonna leave 10 minutes ago. So to wrap it up, doing a no retwist challenge for myself for 3 months. If you would like to join this challenge, do your own research first and do your own assessment on your hair to determine if it's a good idea. I would suggest looking at Curly New Growth / the Digital Lactician. She has a video about like the do's and don'ts of semi-free forming. I would look into her. Definitely watch Yanni the Lactologist for more insight on that. But any decision you make for your locks or for your life, make sure it's an informed decision. Research first. Meditate with it first. Does it feel right? Then you do it. Okay? I see y'all are still in here chatting, but I'm gonna go now. I love y'all so much. I appreciate the vibes. Love the insights. Y'all always hooking me up with new information, and I appreciate it. Next week, I'll be dropping back in with an update, so stay tuned for that. And y'all have a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you at. And I'll see y'all next week.